Howdy, folks. I'm Terrified Turkey, tumultuously tripping over toasty tortillas.
I'm Amber.
And here are more toasty tortillas for us to trip over or to eat, just like the turkey. Let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for laughing at my ex when he asked me to forgive his back child support? My ex is a 62-year-old male and I'm a 64-year-old female, and we got divorced with one infant child in 1987. His support until 1992 was $50 a month that he never paid. He never worked for a paycheck for only cash. In 1992, I went to increase his support to be what he would pay if he earned federal minimum wage. He never paid, never saw my daughter after she turned 7 in 1993, no cards, no calls, nothing, which is good, and left our family to be a family. Fast forward to 2004, my daughter is now 18 years old, and I start to receive a small child support deposit of $64 a week. I'm shocked and dismayed, but happy. A few weeks later, I get a call from my ex, Shannon, saying, "Isn't she 18 now? Tell them to stop taking the support." I laughed and said, "No, you will always owe back support plus interest. I can't stop it." So he quits working. Then no word from him for years. Comes to 2021 and I get a call from Shannon. Surprised by this, I ask what he wants. And he wants me to fill out some form to forgive his past child support of $65,000. He swore that he would then pay me directly $300 a month until the balance is paid, 217 months. Now, remember that he's been under court order to pay me child support ever since September 1987, and he's paid nothing. When it was taken from his pay rather than work, he chose to quit his job. I found out through an online research that this was about the time that the AG of Texas, where Shannon lived with his wife, had filed a lien against Shannon for the back child support amount. I had no clue that this was done, so Shannon's wife doesn't want him to be on their single-wide deed because of the lien, so she divorced him. This is why he wants me to forgive the child support. He was losing his sugar mama. He's called 3 times since then, and just when I stop laughing, I get another call from him. Am I the jerk for laughing at him in his old age for not letting him off the hook for the $65,000 in back child support that I know that I will never see a dime for? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. He was mandated to pay this money and he has done everything he can to dodge it. He would rather be unemployed or work under the table than have to pay money to support his own child.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's really what this boils down to, right? I mean, he's chosen the way he wants things to be. Like, he can either choose to work and pay off his child support, or he can continue to owe this money forever. And then when he dies someday, it'll go into collections, right?
Right, like that's part of the reason why there aren't like these term limits on this in a lot of cases, is so that people can't dodge child support for 18 years and then get away scot-free. It's to incentivize them to not dodge child support in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, the longer he waits to pay this off, the more he's going to owe. Like, those are interest payments and it's going to accumulate, right? So it's in his best interest just to pay it off right now as he can. Now, what do you think about the whole Social Security issue that he's going to have when he gets ready to retire?
I mean, I think he's, it's an unfortunate situation, but he's made his choices.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a sad situation in the respect that he's not paid into Social Security, so he's not going to be collecting Social Security. He's not going to probably be able to get Medicare. I mean, there's a lot of things that he's not going to be eligible for because he's never paid into these entitlements. And he now is going to face those consequences. I think that OP should absolutely not waive his child support because he owes this money. Whether he likes it or not, he owes this money.
Right. Well, I think it just goes to show just how spiteful a person he is, that he would jeopardize everything just so he doesn't have to pay a little bit of child support. Because I'm sure he would probably have been making more money if he was working and paying child support than when he's not working.
Exactly. What do you think of his plan to pay OP $300 a month?
Oh, it's not happening. As soon as there's no legal obligation, OP's not seeing a dime. Like, even when there's a legal obligation in place, OP has not seen the money.
Yeah. I mean, that's my feelings as well. Just seems like a ploy to get OP to, let him disappear forever. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Cozy Cupcakes 25 says, no, he needs to pay up. and having a nice chuckle is just a bonus. And Sugary Flawless says this is hilarious. I'd laugh if I were you too. He should pay up and take responsibility. In the end, it's your child's right. And Where Did Cha Go says he had years to step up but chose cash over his responsibilities. Letting him slide now would be ridiculous. All right, folks, and our next letter is an update. Update, am I the jerk for telling my sister that she's not allowed to bring her homemade food to Thanksgiving because her cooking is ruining the meal? And folks, we read this one the other day. Basically, OP's sister is, as the title says, bringing her own dishes. Gasp. Horror of all horrors. Alright, so Thanksgiving is now just a little over 2 weeks away, and somehow things have escalated even further than I thought possible. I thought maybe my sister's Thanksgiving trio experience would be the peak of the drama. Well, it turns out I was wrong. Since the last update, my sister has become fully committed to making her dishes the main attraction. She has been dropping hints in the family group chat, which I'm still not included in, but shout out to my cousin for the screenshots, about how this Thanksgiving will be one to remember, and calling it her Thanksgiving debut. She's apparently been referring to herself as the Thanksgiving head chef, and has hinted that she's bringing some kind of culinary surprise centerpiece that will transform the whole experience. From what I can piece together, she's planning a main statement dish in addition to her original 3 side dishes. I'm picturing something equally bizarre, but on a much larger scale, and honestly, I'm terrified. If her green bean casserole was already pushing it, I can't even imagine what she thinks is worthy of being a centerpiece. Then, to make things even weirder, my mom texted me privately and suggested that I step back this year and let my sister shine since she's so excited about her contributions. My mom thinks that if we just give her this moment, it'll make her happy and she'll get it out of her system. She's even hinted that maybe I should focus on decorations and drinks instead of the main dishes, which feels like an attempt to turn hosting over to my sister without actually saying it. So now I'm left with a choice: go along with my mom's plan and let my sister essentially hijack Thanksgiving, or keep pushing back and risk a family showdown. I just wanted a nice Thanksgiving with dishes that everyone could enjoy, but it seems like I'm either about to hand over our whole meal to her or prepare for some serious drama. Thanksgiving isn't even here yet, and it already feels like a circus. I'm half tempted just to sit back and see what chaos unfolds, but part of me is still worried about subjecting the whole family to whatever artistic statement she has planned. All right, folks, what do you think of that update?
I mean, at this point in time, why not just hand the hosting duties over to the sister for this year and let her do the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, that depends. Well, I mean, I guess the worst case is that it's just unedible.
Right. I mean, because OP, in the beginning was worrying too much about having one inedible dish.
Yeah.
Which is not an issue at all. If the sister makes an entire Thanksgiving and it's inedible, they can always just go for pizza or something afterward, or eat beforehand, or any number of things. Like, OP's not going to get their wish of not having the sister bring dishes. She is intent on bringing them. And, it seems like everyone else in the family is on board with this. So just let the sister do it and maybe host next year, and don't tell your sister she can't bring anything. Just let her bring the green bean casserole and call it good.
Yeah, I mean, I think OP kind of made their bed in this particular case, and I understand their frustration because, like, who wants to have really bizarre, weird foods for Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if worst case scenario, OP could always make like a smaller Thanksgiving dinner for themselves, either in the days before Thanksgiving or in the days after Thanksgiving. That way they can still have the Thanksgiving experience with potentially their own family, and then that way they're not missing out on anything, but they can have a nice Thanksgiving dinner like what they want without causing the drama that might occur with that. And then that way, if they make it beforehand and there's leftovers, they can at least, if the food turns out terribly, tell people that they can enjoy the leftovers. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think if the sister's going to get all the credit for everything anyway, they might as well just let the sister host it at her house too.
Yeah.
Which it might be a little weird to bring leftovers to her house.
Well, it sounds like they're still wanting to use OP's house.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that OP should just bow out and let the sister host it at her house.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that would be the case. I don't know. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And New Hobbies 7109 says, I'm just confused about people actually wanting to host Thanksgiving. And OP replies, right, honestly, after the saga, I'm questioning why I ever wanted to host it in the first place. It's supposed to be a fun, family-centered holiday, but here I am managing drama, potential culinary disasters, and people trying to hijack the whole thing. At this point, hosting feels more like a full-time job than a festive gathering. Next year, I might just accidentally be unavailable or suggest that we all go out to a restaurant instead. No cooking, no cleaning, no glitter-covered sweet potatoes to deal with. Problem solved. And Martina Tusky says, I think you should still host it, but don't prepare any food. If they're so supportive of her wasting so much food, let them eat it and then treat them like kids. Your house, your rules, they have to eat everything. And OP replies, now that would be a power move. I would just sit back, let her do all the cooking, and when everyone shows up, it's her creations or nothing. If they're so eager to defend her artistry, then they can fully commit and enjoy the entire experience. And treating them like kids? Perfect. No dessert until you finish your glitterly sweet potatoes. Honestly, it just might teach everyone a lesson about what I've been dealing with. If they want to throw their support behind her, they should live with the full consequences. It's tempting, very tempting. I might have to keep this in the back pocket just in case things go completely off the rails. Thanks for the laugh and the idea. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to be Fake at Home? My wife and I are both early mid-40s and have two sons ages 10 and 2. She worked part-time from home and I'm in a high-stress management position. There are days when I work mostly from home, but I often go into the office to get things done. My wife's issue is office politics. She feels that I treat everyone else better than her and the kids. That even when I'm mad or frustrated, I never raise my voice and always mind my P's and Q's when I'm speaking to anyone I work with. In reality, I'd love to be able to rail at them when they continuously mess up the most basic stuff and can't figure out how to make calls that I need them to make, or act like they're helpless for a day because the printer is down and they can't get it back online, along with the myriad of other things. I know that I can't do that, so I swallow my frustration, I put on a smile, and I help out, always thank them for their time and effort, and to be sure to let me know if/when they need my help. By the time that I get home, I'm so sick of playing office politics that I do not want to hold back, which my wife takes as me being snarky and disrespectful to her and our boys. She asks me so many times why I do treat and view our family as less than the people that I work with and manage. I keep telling her that that's not true, but she insists it is because she says that she hears how patient and understanding that I am towards any of them when they call me, and it makes her sad because I don't give the same level of respect to her and the kids. I've reiterated that I have to because it's all about office politics. And when I'm at home with her and the boys, there's no need for me to act that way, and I can do/say what I want. My wife says that she wished that she was lucky enough to get the office version of me. I told her that I'm not going to be fake in my home and that she can forget about that. She said that if I'm not willing to make the effort for her and the boys, it shows how little I value them. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, major jerk. It sounds like OP is at least verbally abusing his family. He's taking out his bad day on his wife and children. And like I understand that it can be frustrating to have a long day at work and then you come home and you're already frustrated, but OP needs to find healthy ways to blow off steam. Maybe get into therapy for anger management, but don't take it out on your wife and children.
Does OP even love his wife and children?
I don't think so. Like, would you yell at someone over and over again? Like, I understand people, we all make mistakes sometimes. So sometimes people will yell at someone they do love. But if this is a consistent pattern of behavior, if you're constantly yelling and verbally abusing a family member, that doesn't sound like love to me.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that OP is shown that they have self-control and patience, but they're not willing to exercise that when they get home. And I think the wife is right here. She would be luckier to be his coworker than to be his wife, right?
Right. Well, he's also treating this like this is my house, my rules, but his wife and children live here too, and they deserve a relatively peaceful environment. They should be able to live their lives and do like ordinary like children things without having to worry about dad coming down on them because they did X or Y or Z.
I mean, it doesn't sound like OP is fundamentally happy, right? It sounds like they are unhappy at home. It sounds like they're unhappy at work, but can manage that unhappiness there, right? And that he needs to look at being part of a family as an act of service, right? As an act of love. We should be in service of our families, right? We should be treating our families with love. And sometimes that's hard, and that's the point, right? Like, not everything in life is going to be all roses all the time. And we should be trying to work on ourselves and making, allowing our family to see the best versions of us, not giving them the worst versions of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if he's going to be happier, without his wife and kids, like if they make his life more miserable, then maybe it's time for him to walk and let them have a stable, calm home environment.
Exactly.
But if he actually does care about them, then like I think he needs immediate therapy to work on finding constructive ways to manage his anger and frustration.
Exactly. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I'm actually just kidding. It's not a knock, knock
Oh,
joke.
okay. I was like, is this joke book, the rest of this joke book, just knock knock jokes?
What do you call a boat with a hole at the bottom?
I call it a sinking ship.
Yeah, you call it a sink.
Oh. And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please have it on self-control.
Self-control is an important part of our interpersonal relationships.
It sure is. It sure is. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.